friends, welcome back to my channel, Designs by Dana. I am Dana and I'm a close to my heart maker. Today I will be working on the February Coast to Coast CTMH maker collaboration video. I would like to mention that we do have some new makers within our collaboration group, so please make sure that you go through the list and look at everyone's videos and hop through the YouTube channels, and you will see lots of exciting ideas from several of the group this month. Now, before I get started, I want to go back and refresh your memory as to what cards we drew from the Story by Stacy Story Deck. So we drew these at the end of our videos last month, and now we're going to kind of do a recap. So Ashley, take it away and give us a recap from last month's draw.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for another Coast to Coast collaboration video. This week's challenge is going to be about family. Our set card is going to be a one-word title. Our go, monochromatic color. That sounds fun. And the bonus, different sizes. All right, enjoy your challenge. Craft on.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Now let's get this out of the way and we'll get started. So I've got my cards over here to the side as my reminders. So I have my family, my one-word title, monochromatic, and my different sizes. So I'm going to bring in my handy Versamat here. And we're going to start with my family photo. So here's the photo I'm going to use. This is a photo taken, I unfortunately don't even know what year, but it's been a while. This is myself, my mom, and my two sisters. So I'm the middle child, so I fit right in between these two here. Unfortunately, since this picture was taken, this sister here passed away at a very young, unexpected age. I think she was only about 37 when she passed away, so she would probably be close to 50 now. And my mom, my sweet mama, passed away, will be 4 years this April. So this is a good picture to bring back a great family memory of all of us ladies in the family. So there is my family card right off the bat. Now for monochromatic, very simply, these colors in this wedding were black and white. So I'm going to stick with that black and white theme. So I'm going to bring in a black piece of cardstock, and that's going to be my base page. And I'm going to jump right down here to my different size. And I thought I would do an 8.5 by 11 scrapbook page. So this is where we're going to start. So let me just set my photo over here to the side. Now what I did, is this is going to be very monochromatic, is I took several pieces of paper here and I went ahead and cut and sized them out, and I picked out 4 different varieties of our embossing folders. And for those of you that don't know how to use the Close to My Heart embossing folders, I actually have all these turned upside down. What you're going to do, if you've never used one of those, is you just open them up. There's a Close to My Heart logo on the front, and you'll open those up, put your piece of cardstock in there, put it down, and just run that through whatever kind of die cut machine you have. Normally you'll have a bottom piece and a top piece to shimmy that in and then run it through, and then it'll come out embossed just like these images here. So these are all retired, and some of them may still be available, but I just picked several that I particularly liked. Now what I did, I don't know if you can see it here on the cardstock, but I put little numbers so that I could remember which piece went where. So as I pull these out, I can see here's my number 1. So I know that it comes down here to this number 1 spot. So that's going to help me kind of reposition these little pieces. I think that's the number 11, maybe there. 2, I know that's 12. This is 7, 8, 4, 9, 3, 6, and 10. So there you can see that I've got them all kind of randomly placed and randomly cut. So as I adhere those down, then they're going to make a nice little kind of background piece for my photo to stick right on there. So let me get that adhered down, and then we'll come back and start the embellishment process. So this layout is not going to take very long and should come together quite quickly. Okay, I'm going to speed this part up quite a bit. You can see I've got all my panels adhered down. I'm going to put my photo down, and I'm going to use the rule of thirds. So I'm going to put my photo on the top third of my 8.5 by 11 page. You notice that I did use foam tape to pop that up. And for my embellishments, I'm bringing in my layered florals thin cuts. This is one of my favorite thin cuts of all time. And I did use the black and white cardstock to stick with that monochromatic theme. And I'm pulling out my foam tape, which is why you see my guest host on camera, the kitty cat. And she's going to try to steal that throughout the video. And you'll also know that throughout this video that I'm going to mess with these flowers and arrangements quite a bit. So bear with me as I audition them in different spots and get them just right for me. You'll notice for these leaves, I am curling the leaves up, and I do that just by using my thumbnail and curling the leaf around my nail. And then I use the liquid glue to adhere those down. So I'm going to fuss around with this top cluster as well and pop all of those up, consistent again with the photo. Once I get these down, I'm pretty much finished with my 8.5 by 11 layouts. So I've accomplished my different size, I've accomplished my monochromatic, and I've accomplished my family photo. But I don't have my one-word title. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take this a step further for you and teach you how to turn an 8.5 by 11 into a 12 by 12 layout. Some people have trouble with 8.5 by 11 sizes and don't necessarily scrap in that size. So hopefully this will help you maybe think outside of the box on how you can turn 8.5 by 11 pages into 12 by 12 pages. And this will be an example. So I'm using my journaling pen. This is the 0.3, and I'm creating a nice black border to go along with my monochromatic theme. And I'm going to put my 8.5 by 11 kind of centered there in the right hand side. So I'm going to use my big adhesive tape to get that taped down. And then I'm ready for my title. So I have some embellishments from my stash. This is from the Cherish paper suite. And you'll notice it doesn't match my monochromatic theme. So I'm bringing in one of my black markers. And I'm going to leave this on the carrier sheet just in case I have any overflow, and that way I can kind of color outside of the lines. And I'm going to turn this into a black title. And you'll notice that the title here says Moments. So I'm going to give that kind of a 2-coat overview there. And then I'll get that punched out and ready to go on. So as I bring that back in, I just love how that pops out on the white cardstock. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna want that centered or off-centered. So I'm gonna bring in my extra flowers, and I'm really gonna play around with these flowers. And I left this part of the video in because I really wanted to show you how it's okay to really take your time and play around with your embellishments and your clusters until you're really happy with the result. And you'll see I play around with this one quite a bit. I struggled with it and moved the flowers around. And sometimes, you know, you cut, like in this case, I cut more than I needed. It's okay to take an extra flower out or cut more. And in this case, I took that big one out and put it aside and decided I didn't necessarily need to use it. So I'm going to fiddle around here for a little bit with this cluster and get it finally popped up and put my leaf down. But you'll see I continue to pull that one flower up and down a couple of times. And I wanted to mention here, as I put down my title, how wonderful these close to my heart tweezers are to hold these tiny pieces and get those down. So it's so easy. And I'm going to put my last leaf on here. And essentially my 12 by 12 is complete and we're ready for some embellishing. I have three main things that I'm going to use for my embellishments today. I have the clear, or not the clear, but the black and white acrylic flowers that you can see. I'm using liquid glue and randomly placing them in the center of my flowers and throughout the layout. I also have my liquid pearls that I'm going to use in the white centers of the flowers to add some extra texture and dimension there. And finally, I'm going to use my sparkles. And I generally use them in clusters of 3, but in the case of this layout, I go a little further. I put some of them in the center of my acrylic flowers, and I add a couple more in my clusters. The bottom line is really just do what makes you happy and what looks good to you. So as I wrap that up, that finishes up my embellishing and the layout is complete. Okay, so let's come in and take a final look at the layout. And let me give you a couple close-ups. You can see how that title turned out really well by just using a little marker and making it black. And I love the simplicity of this over here. Loving the texture and the embossing of the white little panels here. And the variety of the shapes, although they're all kind of rectangular, there's lots of variety there. And I did keep my visual triangle, which I tend to always try to do. And let's come over here and look at our challenges. So for ready, I had a family photo. For set, I did do the one-word title. Monochromatic, I went with the black and white. And I don't know if you want to say I cheated or not on the different size, but I started out with an 8.5 by 11 page. And then I also showed you how you could modify an 8.5 by 11 into a 12 by 12. So when you perhaps have an opportunity for an 8.5 by 11 workshop, you think it's really cute, but you don't do 8.5 by 11 pages, be open-minded to that and think about how you might be able to turn those into 12 by 12 pages if you're simply a 12 by 12 scrapbooker. So I thought that might be good to show because I typically just do 12 by 12 and some 6 by 8s as well. But wanted to show you that kind of idea. So I think I accomplished that. Hopefully you will agree as well. And I hope that you enjoyed that. And make sure, if you haven't already, please like the video if you like what you saw today. And if you haven't already, I would invite you to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you watching. And as a reminder, make sure you go through and look at all of the other gals' photos, or not photos, but videos. And I'm sure you'll learn some other fun techniques and ideas from them. And then anything that you'd like to make using these same challenges, please do so and post them on any social media using the hashtag C2C or this February, so C2CFEB 23. So it's always going to coordinate with the month. So next month it will be C2CMAR 23. So wherever you post, please give us the hashtag, because we'd love to see what you can create using the same challenges as well. Thank you so much for your time and watching, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey crafty friends, this is Dana, and I'm going to be doing the March card draw from the Stacy Story Deck, and I've got everything out here, and this is for the Coast to Coast CTMH collaboration March challenge. So let's get started. I've got ready, set, go, and we'll do a bonus challenge. We'll start with the ready and work our way down to the bonus challenge. So I'm going to separate the cards here, and let's see, we'll just pull from the middle here. And the first one we have is blessings, and that talks about serendipity, miracles, karma, gratitude, counting your blessings and paying it forward. Our set card, let's see what we can come up with here. I'm going to pull kind of from the back. Map. So an infographic, a brochure, trails, menu, destination, historical, or something with your state or country perhaps. For our go card, separate these out, and let's pick here. One big photo, an all-time favorite, a self-portrait, heritage, school portrait, full page, nature background, or perhaps a family photo. Now keep in mind, these are simply suggestions. They're not anything that you have to stick to. Now for our bonus card, let's just go right here in the middle, and we're going to do super simple. Now we just did super simple in February, so I am going to put that back in the deck, and let's pull something else just to kind of keep it fun and doing something a little bit different each month. Not that we can't duplicate, but I hate to have to do something, you know, too many months back to back. So ink or paint. So here we've got splatter, brushed, smushing, spritz, painted, stamped. So those are some ideas for you for your jumping off point. Remember, we like to use the hashtag. So for March, we'll be using hashtag or pound sign C2C MAR for March, and then 23. So again, that's C2C MAR 23. So please share your work with us. We'd love to see what you can create with these Jumpstart cards, and we will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye everybody.